Okay, so hi everybody. So this is part one to my makeup collection. I'm going to start off with the collection that I started with when I was a young girl, around 15 or 16 years old. It was my first brand of makeup, so it was the first brand of makeup I ever had. My mom really didn't want us using makeup until we were about 16 years old. She only really started us off with like basic eyeshadows and some blush, but she told us that we really didn't need anything. But then, of course, me and my sister would like really want to get like mascara and eyeliner and stuff like that. Also, if you want to check out what's on my face right now, you can check out the part 2 video because I talk about it at the end of the video because I talk about the electric palette, and of course I'm wearing the electric palette. But I'm wearing my Ariel shirt. Again, I talk about that in that video. So again, I'm wearing a Disney look today. So I'm going to start off with this brand. Let's jump right in. So the first brand of makeup that I would use was Clinique. I don't use their makeup anymore. It's not highly pigmented. It's not that good quality, honestly. Their skincare is so much better than their makeup. It's just like, I think that they just really want you to have like a fair tone. But I really just don't think they're very highly pigmented. But I have these two that I honestly never use. But they came in bonus packs for my mom when she buys the bonus packs. She doesn't really use their makeup either. She uses Bare Essentials, and so does my sister. I don't use Bare Essentials. I've just been sticking to the Naked palette. But I used MAC for a while for natural looks. But yeah, let's get into these. I'm trying to open this right now. For some reason, it's not opening. Hold on, I'm sorry. Just give me a minute. Let's try this one first. I don't know why these aren't opening for me right now. Okay, there we go. So this one is called the Nightcap Duo. It has like two like greenish blue shadows in here, and it comes with a blush. I'll swatch them quickly. I mean, they look pretty highly pigmented here, but again, they're not really colors I really like. I don't really like the tones that much. I wouldn't even wear these even for like a fun look. The blush is pretty though. Maybe I'll use the blush at some point. But I don't really like the shadows. Don't really like the texture that much. But, you know, they were really great for young looks. And then this one, I really want to open this one. This one's more natural looking. It comes with three blushes and one blush. I mean, three eyeshadows and one blush. And it's called Single Shade from Link Mink Duo and Pink Chocolate Quad and Chocolate Chip Stay Matte. And then the Soft Press Powder Blush. So let me swatch them for you. Guess we'll do the brown one on here. Maybe I'll end up using these. These are actually kind of pretty. These are pretty colors. Then I'll swatch the blush. The blush is probably a little dark for me. But yeah, they're pretty. But again, don't really like Clinique. Nobody really uses them. But I have to say I'm a huge fan of Clinique's skincare. I was using it for a long time. But I recently switched to MAC for skincare. They just have better skincare for me now, but I used Clinique for a very long time. But this is the thing I used for the longest time, was the Clinique Tinted Moisturizer. This is pretty old. It probably doesn't smell very good, but this is what it looks like. I haven't used this in a long time. Actually, it smells like kind of chemically, but this is what I would use, but it wasn't really great for my skin tone, and it wouldn't really blend. That's why I always use the MAC BB cream. And I just use that all the time. I've talked about it before. But yeah, Clinique isn't just really that great of a brand for me anymore, so I don't use them. But they were great when I was growing up. So then moving on to the second brand that I used a lot, and I really do like their shadows, is Bobbi Brown. My mom switched us over to them after Clinique because me and my sister said that we didn't really like Clinique anymore. So I have this really old palette from them. The lip glosses are pretty much ruined because I didn't keep the plastic that went in between here so that they would not get ruined. So I pretty much can't use lip glosses anymore, but I did used to use them when I first got them. But as you can see, I've hit pan on most of these. I use these a lot, especially the gold and the silver. I don't know if I can really swatch these. Maybe I'll just do these two. But they're very pretty tones. This is the purple, and this is the gold color on the end. But yeah, they're pretty colors. I would use them quite often. Bobbi Brown's a very good brand as well. Great for sensitive skin, just like Clinique. And then this palette I would use so much. It's called just Shadow Basics. This palette, I don't remember. This one was called Earth Metal Palette. Sorry, I didn't say the name. This was called Earth Metal Palette. And this was called Shadow Basics. And honestly, this is a beautiful palette for a natural look. So I used this quite often. It's a little dirty, sorry. But the colors are Bone, Taupe, and I can't read this, and Manogram. But these were beautiful colors. I used them, the darker one, as a eyeliner. Sorry, the brush fell out. I had to pick it up. But yeah, this is beautiful. Definitely recommend these colors if they still make them. Just a beautiful natural look. I loved this palette. Then we moved on to another brand. Me and my sister ended up being obsessed with Stila. This is a very old palette. I think this was a custom-made palette, like a 3-pan compact. But I have not used Stila since then, but I had a lot of really cute palettes with them. I remember I had this one that was like a flip book, and it had 2 shadows in it, and it was like a pink and purple one that I used like so much. But these are 3 matte shadows that I probably should have used more. But I did hit pan a little bit on this one. Let me swatch these. These are pretty old. I might chuck these because can't really use these anymore, but they're pretty much, they actually smell, so I probably should get rid of these. But yeah, these are very pretty colors as well, but I think I might get rid of this. But again, very pretty tones, but I think it's seen better days. But Stila is a very great brand too. Everybody still uses Stila a lot, so maybe I should end up buying more of their palettes. If you tell me what colors you really like. I think I did have Kitten for a long time. I know everybody raves about Kitten, so I think I used that for a while. I think I definitely had that. So then we moved on to a more mature brand, and we moved on to Chanel. I absolutely love Chanel, but I have not used these in quite a while. But I did use them for a long time, and I'll go over the 3 palettes that I have. The first palette that I got from Chanel was this palette called Stellaries. I can't really say it, but it's a quad eyeshadow palette, and it comes with 4 colors. And the colors are gold, rose, berry, and copper. So gold, rose, berry, and copper. Beautiful colors. I'll swatch them for you. Again, I think this one's very old too, so it's seen better days. But very pretty colors, fairly high pigmented. This one might smell too, but yeah, I use this quite a bit. Love these colors. I'm trying to remove them every time I swatch them so I can swatch substantial amounts for you and not get like them blended together. So the next one is called Winter Nights. This is a gorgeous palette. It was really great for like evening because this is really great as an eyeliner. This is definitely one of my favorite black tones of all time. There was this black one to use as an eyeliner. It was just gorgeous. I'll just swatch it really quickly. Like, look at that. That's an awesome color. But yeah, I really like these. I don't really have to swatch them. They're basic colors. But beautiful palette. And then the last one, well, this one I ended up buying with my sister, I think, or maybe it was this one. We bought it at Lord & Taylor because this is when I first started working at Lord & Taylor, and this is when I first experienced how a credit card worked, because I was like, oh yeah, I can just buy these and then we don't have to pay for them. But my mom's like, you realize you have to pay for that after at the end of the month when your credit card bill comes. You can't just buy it. It's not free money. So she paid for it, but she was like, why did you buy it? Because we got like makeovers and stuff. But this palette was called, this is the wrong one. How did I grab the wrong one? This palette is called Spices. And this was, again, very beautiful colors. This is the only one I actually kept the plastic covering for. But I'll take that off. And these are what the colors look like. Very pretty tones. I ended up getting similar colors in most of these palettes. I always got a pink and a copper shade in all 3 palettes, or like a plum shade. It's very similar to the Winter Nights, but again, beautiful palette. I think this was my sister's first original palette, so I ended up getting it because it worked great for my skin tone. I should have ended up using these more often, but I used them so much when I first got them, so. And then my first really good blush was Chanel's Rose Dust blush, and I also have another blush from them, but they're basically very similar, and I hit, ooh, Jesus. I hit pan on this. Look how much I used this. This was a gorgeous blush, and then I finally replaced it with a MAC blush, but yeah, I used this for a long time. So blushes I don't replace half as much as I do eyeshadow. I stick with one blush if I really love it. So then I'll move on to the last brand in this collection, which is MAC, and I still use MAC today because I had gotten a makeover at MAC like a year or two ago, and I got new colors, which are these two colors. And this color is called Rice Paper, and this one is called Woodwinked. For some reason, I can't find the matte color that was in this collection that I got. I think it was called Wedge. It was like a basic brown matte color. But these are what the colors look like. Very pretty goldish matte color. I mean metallic color. And this was like a really pretty bronze brown metallic color. I always use this for my everyday looks. Love these. Can't say enough about them. They're just beautiful tones. Then my best friend got me a MAC palette for my birthday 2 years ago, and I've only used this a few times actually because it's very shimmery colors. I don't use them as often as I thought I would. But I use the golds a lot for golds, but now since I have two other golds in the Naked palette and in the Jasmine palette, I don't really use this one anymore. But I did use this like for some looks. I might use it at some point again, but again, it's very glittery, but they're gorgeous tones. Love them. And it's called Past Deluxe. Love this. And then I'm just going to go over the blush, which is called Pink Swoon. I talk about this a lot. I use it in almost every single video. I'm wearing it right now. Just can't get enough of this. I'm really surprised I haven't hit pan on this because I use it so much, but probably because I just dab it on. But this is a beautiful blush for me. And you barely have to wipe it on and you already get enough on your hand. But yeah, that's really it. So these are the makeup brands that I use. If I left anything out, please let me know. But I don't think I really need to say much about these brands. Just to say that they're highly pigmented. And I don't really use two of them anymore. Actually, really, I haven't really used any of these recently because I've been really into Urban Decay. So if you have any comments, questions, or your opinions on these, please let me know if you still use any of these brands. Chanel and MAC are the two I really use still, but again, haven't used them in a while. But let me know what you think. Thanks, guys. Have a great night, and follow me on Instagram, CPW819, and my Twitter is PokerFace819. Thanks. Bye.